Here we see the sun and the progressed moon, the 3 cycles of the progressed moon going around. And the key thing is you got the sun for a quick view. You're seeing the sun. You're seeing it when it went over the descent, it went over the angle, and when it goes on. It may, if she lives long enough, it'll go up to hit her midheaven, but it's not, that's as far as it's going to get. She's building up to that midheaven, to controlling things, to establishing things all her life. Her progressed sun is moving that way. So Saturn's up there now. So she's moving that way, and Saturn's still up there. In 30 years, in 2027, no, what's wrong? No, that's in 30 years, if she would be, no, that would be, if she lives that long, Saturn being back, it goes around and comes back up in 30 years. It's up there now. In 30 years, her progressed sun will be just past the midheaven, but then she would be in her 90, pushing 100 before that happened, that would happen. So, okay, we're getting this time sense. Remember, the progressions are symbolical things, but these symbolical things give really good insight into the symbolical nature of our inner development and things which don't seem just practical in the business workaday world around us. So you can see on this cycle, I've marked in the new moons and full moons, and the bigger circles means they're eclipse. So they're in the 8th house here. You see the gray big moon. That was the lunar eclipse, and the dates on the other side. 2011, the progressed new moon eclipse. So this was probably realizing she wanted to get a place, even if it was meant to be away from family or whatever, just something might have delayed it at the same time. Maybe her mom was getting sick and stuff like this, and she had to play out her mom dying during this time period. But the new moon, which is the solar eclipse, comes in 2026, January 31st, 2026. So that's a deep mystical spiritual thing. It is actually, I can't tell if it's exact 21. 1 second, we'll get this. 21. Yeah, so it is just into the 9th house. Out of the 8th house into 9th house, the whole new set. Traveling long distance, different. These things are there. The new moon is there. Now, when I see a new moon coming up, especially if it's eclipse, this is part of your spiritual practice, because that gives you as a spirit on a spiritual side. The new moon is a really strong affirmation. Even an eclipse, it really makes a gong go off on your inner spiritual being. In the outer world, it's a sensitive point, but there can be challenges that come in around it. There can be people that aren't exactly outside that are forcing you to hold in deeper to oneself. So with the new moon being there, and that's still six years away, 7 years, 7 years away, we have over the next 6 years, it would be a good spiritual practice to be taking every new moon and having a special meditation or ritual or doing something special on every new moon building up to that, because then you've got a habit of using the new moons for something inward and creating a sensitive point in there that will accumulate and prepare you for being sensitive enough at the progressed new moon. Okay, so this one of the things, the healing things I would be talking, so I'd be aware of, I'd be looking for an opportunity to mention that to a person. Sometimes you're caught in the middle of other things you don't see. I know this, and you have to see what she's receptive to listen to. She would know these things too, because she has studied all this. But when you're in the middle of it, by the time your thumb is being hit by a hammer, you're not trying to understand the mechanics of the hammer or the circulation of the thumb. You're just trying to survive the impact. But this is going to a greater problem that's still on the way of her sun going up. So it's possible by 2026 that eclipse may mean maybe she's going to be more on her own, has to build and figuring out things from there. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm just looking at what it possibly could be. So okay, that's going, but this is going on. Saturn through Saturn is going up. It's in the midheaven. It's on the midheaven, and it's slowly moving. It's going to move into Aquarius, 11th house, and it gets into 12th house. So by the time it gets into Aries, which is in about 6.5 years, about 6 years. By now 6 years, then it's going to be difficult. It starts opposing her things. She's going to feel isolated, and it's difficult. But until then, she's got Saturn up high and it's working, and her sun is moving up high to meet it, to try and, so it's all about social functioning and its demands and accomplishing things. So she's in good position to control things, but her nature is below authority. She wants the lifestyle. So the possibility it's demanding too much for what she's prepared to give. So, but she still has to play it. You'd still be saying you're too good of an investment to let go of the work side right now. Okay, unless it's making you sick. Then you'd let it go for a time or cut back somewhat. The weak spot is how much is she carrying? Okay, so this is what we got from this. Okay, let's keep going here. I'll take a look at the Mercury. In her life, her Mercury is retrograde to begin with. It starts retrograde. So she came into it when her mind was backing up into things before this lifetime. It didn't start turning around till 73. If I'm not mistaken, that's around the time Saturn was down low in her chart. 73, 74. Yes, Saturn would have been down in this third house, coming to the IC. So then it turned around, went direct, and was going back, rethinking over one world to the next, the world you grew up in, to the world you got married into. By the time it hit 88, it got back to the starting point. So from 88, her Mercury, her mind, got back into this world, into now, and started moving forward. And from there, it just moves forward. So maybe that's when she started working or started real estate. I'm not sure. She still had her kids, but she started to think, and it would build up, and it's building up where it's at the midheaven in 2035. So this is building up like the sun towards the midheaven. It's going that direction. So these are the things she's going to instinctively see. We could go here, we could build this up. She's not going to want to hide away and just be doing nothing. Even if she had a place in the country that was the perfect place, she'd still be wanting to go out and interact and proving to make things happen, to accomplish more. So if she weren't working, she'd probably be a big nag to whoever she's with, because she'd be wanting to change everything in the moment. So it's good. Like, okay, then we're gonna look at Venus. Her Venus goes straight direct through her whole life. And I think I have a close-up. It conjuncts to Mercury, Venus conjuncts to Saturn, makes her sweet, it touches everything. It's 2019, December, right now. Progressive Venus is on her midheaven. Oh, that's a really interesting thing to add into this equation. We're looking at Pluto squaring Venus. We're looking at Pluto squaring the ascendant. We're looking at Saturn squaring Venus, and Saturn squaring the ascendant is going on right now in the transits. When we look at the progress chart and we see the Venus taking all this time, is right up at the midheaven as a prominent point. So in her spirit, she's setting up what she wants. She's got it set up for what she wants. But it's being attacked by the world. But it's still what she wants. It's not like she's supposed to surrender with this. There's just challenges coming to them. Maybe it's envious people, whatever, but Venus is really high. She's done it. She got it up to there. Her sun's still building up. Everything's building up. Saturn's up there. But that's just interesting. This timing is there. And that's, so that's, I think I got it closer here. Yeah. So I'm building up this, I'm talking to you, and I'm just working through the stages of the chart so that you're seeing between the lines that I'm making this association and building up this continuity. I'm working with the natal chart of correspondence. I'm looking of the correspondence, what's connecting to which and what's where, and then the point totals, and I'm working on the timing of where things are and how the transits work up and how the progressions are working with it and how these two are coming together. I'm just trying to talk to you, not like this is how it is. I'm talking, this is how I'm making my associations and how I'm thinking as I go through it. When I'm talking to a person, I'm asking them questions, I'm going into their world. I know with Pluto on the ascendant and Pluto, I'm going to have to walk right into what she's afraid of and talk about it and find a way and help her to make practical decisions around it, not to get paralyzed in fear around it. But you know, there's some hard decisions being made now. But this is a real plus with the Venus on the midheaven. This is what's keeping going. She's been seeing, I can build this up, I can build this up, we can make this money, we can carry this. She's got the 2 properties in 2 countries, but it's expensive lifestyle. So reality is saying, how much? Inside is saying, I'm here. But it's forcing some decisions to be made around that. And like, it's like she's got a foot in the States, a foot in Canada, and maybe she's got a foot on a dock and a foot on a boat, and it's been let go. It's not, they're moving apart, and how does she decide which one to be, or does she fall in the water? With the Venus, it's not about falling in the water. She's built it up. It's what has to be, what's more real, what do you really want, and has to go with what she really wants around this. So what she wants to be working with her partner and doing things going through. Well, what if the partner is not that strong? Well, she might have to be working on her own in any case. But the solution for her as much is not to just be sitting at home. And it's not a time to retire. It's a time to be going forward and using her seniority and catching up, whether she should leave one country for another or do both countries and just fight it through. I'd have to talk to her and see where she was with that to talk about that. So I did the Mars also to look at the Mars. We generally do all these things. We've got all this stuff done. So we have the work done. So it's as if we've seen these people before and we're coming in and we're updating it. But her Mars starts in the 6th house. It builds up in 96, 95, 98, it was on the descendant. 2006, Mars was on the Neptune. 2013, it was on the Mercury. Then 2013, and shortly after that, we met and she was studying astrology, going through that. 2019, no, that's 39, it conjunct Saturn. So that's a long way ahead. But Mars builds up through her 7th house, pretty much from 1995 on. 1998 on. So I'm sorry, I still have a little bit of, I had my eyes tested today, so my eyes are a little fuzzy. The drops, so, okay. So Mars is still moving, it's tied into partner, what this part doing? So like so much of hers is tied into working with a partner, and she has a good partner she's working in, she's used to doing things with him. If he started getting weaker or something, it would be a significant threat to her and to what she's doing. So, but there's not really any adversity really from the Mars right now. She got heavy transits, and but the Mars is in the 7th house of working, doing things with a partner, having commitments, having trust, making things happen.